Hey guys, Andrew McFarland here from StartAJuiceBar.com. Today we are talking about the top 5 mistakes people make when starting juice truck businesses. If you guys know anything about my story, I've been in this juice industry for over a decade, running my own juice bar concepts. I actually started with the juice truck, and I believe that we actually had the first juice truck in the nation. And so I'm going to share the top 5 things that I've learned from my own mistakes and things that I've also observed from other people when it comes to starting a juice truck business. But before we dive in, if you guys are new to the channel and you haven't pressed the like button yet, it takes a lot of energy to make these videos, so we appreciate an early thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this kind of content. We're releasing videos on a regular basis. Press the bell notifications, that way you get alerted anytime we release new content. And so really diving in. What is the first mistake that I see people make when getting into the juice truck business? First thing is not having the right size truck. Okay, now the size of your vehicle is going to have a lot of implications for your business operations, for the amount of money you can make based on the storage, where you can actually park the truck based on the environment that you're in. I know from our journey, I started my juice truck in Los Angeles, in the thick of it, right? In the city of Hollywood, where there's a lot of cars driving around. It's very difficult to find parking, and we did have a bigger vehicle, so sometimes we had to parallel park in 2 spots, and this was a disadvantage to us, but we obviously also wanted a bigger truck so that we could actually make more sales. And we got to the point with our truck where we were selling so much product that we would run out of almost all of our inventory just after lunchtime, so we needed that larger truck. But some of you guys might be in a situation where you don't need a vehicle that big, or you don't want to have a vehicle that big. But you also have to understand, what does that mean for your storage and your production? So these are all things that need to be considered based on the kinds of products you're going to serve. How many juices do you have, right? How many other products in smoothies and smoothie bowls, if you're making those products, how many do you have? What kind of space do you need? And is this going to create a limit for you in terms of how much money you can make on a daily basis? So this is the first mistake that a lot of people make, is they don't really have the right size truck for their objectives. Now, what's number 2? Number 2 is not having a menu that is easy to produce for the truck, right? A lot of times people think that having smaller businesses is easier, but in some ways it could be more of a challenge because you have less room for error, right? When you have a small space, everything has to be thought of so meticulously because you can't afford for there to be redundancies or inefficiencies because you don't have that extra luxury of space to have things that are not being utilized appropriately. So when you're creating your menu, or if you have someone create your menu, and this is something that we can help you with if you need support, but when you're doing that, you have to really be thinking about what is going to make me the most money based on the amount of space I have inside of my truck. What are my customers going to enjoy? What's going to be easy to produce? How much refrigeration, how much freezer space? A lot of times people don't think about this when it comes to a truck, and they're kind of making their menu in isolation of the practical realities of having a juice truck and the limitations that that might create. So that's something that you need to think about, and that's the second mistake that I see people make. What's number 3? Okay, number 3 is not parking in the right location. Now, I am the biggest really culprit of doing this in the very beginning. I remember when we started our truck, we had what I think was actually a reasonable thought process and assumption. We were, like I said, I was in LA, and the beach was one place that we knew people had money, they're health conscious. This would probably be a great place for our truck. But the thing that we really missed is that within even a given vicinity, there's a lot of different places you could park, and there were no really great parking spots. And so we ended up parking on side streets and other places that were, yes, we're technically close to the ocean, but nobody could really get to us and nobody could really see us. And it was just really inconvenient. And if we did get sales, it just wasn't enough. And so this is something that people really make the big mistake of, is they think about this after the fact. They are not really clear on where they're going to park or where the multitude of places are that they're going to go, and giving themselves options in case 1 or 2 or 3 of those don't really work. We were in a place where we were scrambling at that time to try to figure out what the location was that was really going to allow our juice business, our juice truck business, to explode. Eventually we figured it out, thankfully, but it did take some time. So this is one huge mistake that a lot of people make when they're getting into this industry, is not really thinking about the locations, giving themselves options, specifically being clear on where you're going to park exactly, not the general area, but where exactly are you going to park and how are you going to get that parking space as well. So that's number 3. Now what's number 4? Number 4 is not really having a great truck wrap design. Now, design in itself is such a big thing because great design is far and few between, to be honest. And you have to realize that people are going to be compelled to visit your truck if they're driving by, walking by, based on the aesthetic presentation of your truck. And if you don't have really great, high-catching, creative, high-quality, and very presentable designs when it comes to your truck wrap, guess what? There are all kinds of people who are not going to come and visit you, and it's rare that a lot of trucks do this well. I've seen more oftentimes than not truck wrap designs that are kind of subpar, not that exciting. Maybe they're okay at best, but to have a really, really great truck wrap design is really like having a compelling billboard, and that is going to be the thing that really makes people want to come and visit you. So that's the 4th mistake that I see people make. Now, what's number 5? Number 5 is a bit more nuanced, and it really has to do not just simply with people in juice trucks, but it's kind of a mentality that people have when they're running small juice businesses. And it is that they don't really structure the business in a way that supports the growth of the company. So, and I can talk about this for a while and I won't go too deep into it, but imagine that when you're starting a juice truck, oftentimes it might be just you, it might be you and a business partner, but usually your team is quite small. And you have to build a strong foundation to grow and build upon. And sometimes small business owners get themselves into a cycle where all they're doing is making enough money to keep running their business. They can't really hire more people. They don't have time to create the systems in their business that they need to in order to grow the business. So they're kind of in this place where they're just cycling. And they're in this eternal cycle of they're not failing, right? But you're not really creating a foundation for growth. And so that's a whole mentality that we need to adopt as entrepreneurs, no matter where you are, is to understand that just because you're starting a juice truck, ultimately, and most likely for a lot of us, that's not our ultimate goal. We want to start a juice truck to maybe open more trucks, or maybe do more events, or maybe start and open a store at some point. But in order to do that, you have to really think about the foundation that you're building for yourself, your future staff members, the systems that you need to create, the time that you need to allow yourself in the day, the money that you need in order to grow your business from wherever you are to wherever you want to be. So this is a big mistake that I see juice truck business owners make, but a lot of small business owners as a whole. So these are really the 5 mistakes. Before you guys go, I want to share something with you that's very special. If you are interested in launching a juice truck business, myself and my team have created something very special. As you know, like I said, I've been in this industry for over a decade, and I was thinking to myself, what really is the product that I wish existed when I got started in this industry? And we created that. It's actually called the Juice Truck Business in a Box. Now, this is a turnkey solution for anybody who's interested in getting in the juice truck business and wants to save themselves tons of time, tons of money, tons of headache. This is really a turnkey solution. It's going to have everything that you need other than the actual truck itself to launch your business. This is your truck wrap designs, your menu, your equipment list, marketing strategy, right? Professional product photography, a website that you can get put on so that you can let your customers know where your location is. All these things have been done for you. So if you want to learn more about this product, there's a link in the description below. And for people in the community here, we're going to be offering some exclusive perks. So go ahead and look in the description box below so you guys can gain access to this. Know that, yes, I'm aware, and this is kind of a big thing, is that when people are first getting started in this industry, sometimes you don't have all the money in the world. Sometimes you don't feel like you have access to investors, or you want to just start by using the money that you have and starting something small that you can then grow and scale and eventually get to your dream of maybe opening a storefront or multiple storefronts. So we wanted to create something that really supported all of you in the community who might be in a place where you're really, really inspired to get started, but you're either just confused as to what to do, or you might have some budget restrictions. We've asked ourselves, how do we make it more accessible? And that's why we created this product. So the links are in the description below. I'm sure you guys are going to find a lot of value out of this. Until next time, I hope this video has been helpful. This is Andrew McFarland with the StartAJuiceBar.com. Also, lastly, if you're not following us on Instagram, you definitely want to do that at StartAJuiceBar. If you are new to the channel and you haven't liked the video yet or subscribed to the channel, that's all below. Go ahead and do that. And then follow us on our podcast on Spotify and on iTunes. If you guys like listening to podcasts, there's content there. So until next time, I'll see you guys really soon. Take care. I hope you guys have been enjoying the content. If you're in a place where you are really inspired to launch your juice business, but you're not exactly sure what steps to take, for you, we've created a free ebook, the 15 steps to starting your juice bar from scratch. Now, this is going to give you an overview of all the steps that you need to take in order to launch your business. If you want to go even deeper, we created an online course, the Juice Bar Master Blueprint. This is going to go into great detail into every single aspect of the business, starting from the very beginning all the way to actually launching a successful juice business. There's links for both of these in the description below. I know you guys will find a lot of value out of them. As always, wishing you a lot of success, and I'll see you guys in the next video.